And now it's just like, in my opinion, he's a nobody, he's a drug cheat. And in this game of boxing, you shouldn't cheat, man. You shouldn't cheat, people can really get hurt.
If they would find something in my blood or my pee, they would lynch me. And
including him, so he never got off.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does 5?
Is that a fight you'd entertain?
No, definitely.
No.
Reacting to Jake Paul's failed drug test, Anthony Joshua said he thinks Jake Paul is a cheater and confirmed the test failure. Anthony Joshua said it is simple: cheating gets you banned. Anthony Joshua said he will only fight for money and will not entertain rule breakers. His anger shows why Anthony Joshua is respected and Jake Paul's confidence is exposed.
You know, if you're on drugs, you get banned. Simple as that.
John Fury said failing a drug test is very naughty in a high-profile fight. Anthony Joshua will expose anyone cheating. Joshua's focus and discipline make him unbeatable. Jake Paul's confidence from drugs is meaningless because Anthony Joshua's skill and integrity are on another level, showing the world who the true champion is.
Up to the drug testing people's either. Now, to me, that's very naughty because we're meant to be in a high-profile fight. What's going out being blown.
Adeol Adipo said it is easier to digest, but admitted the situation is weird and confusing. He questioned whether cocaine can be used as a masking agent for performance-enhancing drugs. Anthony Joshua sees through this. Joshua's discipline and honesty contrast sharply with Jake Paul's failures. Even if drugs gave Paul confidence, Anthony Joshua's skill and strategy will dominate in the ring. This situation shows that talent and integrity always beat cheating. Fans are shocked, but Joshua's reputation only grows stronger.
That's kind of easier to digest. This is weird. Like, I don't know if cocaine, I honestly, I don't know if cocaine is now used as a masking agent for a performance-enhancing drug.
Anthony Joshua said many fighters have failed drug tests recently, and it is not something from decades ago. Joshua highlighted that cheating is happening right now and cannot be ignored. Anthony Joshua's honesty and clear focus show that he fights with integrity. Jake Paul's drug test failure only proves he was relying on substances. Joshua's discipline, experience, and skill make him far superior. Fans can see that Anthony Joshua is in control and ready to expose anyone who thinks drugs give them an advantage.
Also point our finger at many others that have failed drug tests, and we're not talking about 20 years ago, we're talking about in the last 2, 3, 4 years.
Frank Warren said the drug test failure is a fact and has not been denied. He emphasized that while Jake Paul is entitled to his day, the situation must be handled quickly. Anthony Joshua's focus remains on clean and fair competition. Joshua will not be distracted by cheating opponents. The boxing world is watching closely. Fans understand that Anthony Joshua's skill and experience make him unstoppable, and any reliance on drugs cannot save Jake Paul from a proper knockout. Integrity and preparation always win in the ring.
Lots of talk about, let's see how this works out, and, he's entitled to get his day and so forth. Well, it should be dealt with very quickly.
Dave Coldwell said his initial reaction to Jake Paul's failed tests was bloody hell, cheating bastard. He pointed out that even if it's a first or third failure, the gut reaction is the same. Anthony Joshua's focus and honesty contrast with this behavior. Joshua will only fight fairly and is fully prepared. Fans can see that skill, training, and integrity are more important than any temporary boost from drugs. Jake Paul's failed test exposes the weakness behind his overconfidence, and Joshua's dominance is clear.
Fucking hell, cheating bastard. That's the initial reaction. Whether it's a first fail or a third fail, that's the initial reaction. Your gut reaction is, but then obviously we don't know what he's failed for yet, and we don't know what it is. But then when it's somebody that's failed 3 times, or this is the 3rd adverse reaction, then
Tommy Fury said if he can beat Jake Paul, imagine what Anthony Joshua would do. Tommy Fury mentioned that even with a broken arm, Joshua would finish Jake Paul in under a minute. Anthony Joshua's skill, strength, and experience make him unstoppable. Fans see that no cheating or confidence from drugs can save Jake Paul. Joshua's reputation and abilities place him on another level, and this fight is a warning to anyone who underestimates him. Joshua will dominate with ease and fairness.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past him.
Adam Catterall said fighters should not decide when to follow rules, and highlighted the importance of serious anti-doping tests. He mentioned safety concerns if a fighter fails a test. Anthony Joshua will only step into the ring against opponents who fight fairly. Jake Paul's failed test proves he relied on drugs for confidence. Fans are worried about the integrity of boxing, but Joshua's discipline, experience, and skill guarantee that he will dominate regardless. Joshua represents safety, fairness, and professionalism. Any attempt to cheat or manipulate the system cannot stop Anthony Joshua from exposing the truth and asserting his superiority.
They want to turn up and get paid.
Correct.
This should not be their decision. The British Boxing Board of Control should be standing up and taking the voluntary anti-doping test seriously.
Absolutely.
Yes, I know that you work with the UK anti-doping. I know that, but this is a test. He's popped hot. Let's look into it properly. What happens if something happens on Saturday night?
Absolutely.
What if we've already got a safety?
Anthony Joshua said he does not expect anything from anyone and focuses on his own preparation and corner. He emphasizes that regardless of distractions, he will go out and fight professionally every time. Joshua's discipline contrasts sharply with Jake Paul's cheating behavior. Fans can see that Anthony Joshua is mentally stronger and committed to fairness. No drugs, no shortcuts, just pure skill and determination. Joshua's ability to stay focused under pressure shows why he is a world-class champion. The boxing world knows that anyone trying to take advantage of the system will face Anthony Joshua's dominance.
Just don't expect anything from anyone. People are entitled to talk about sparring. People are entitled to not talk about sparring. I just got to make sure that I handle my own corner. And how I'm going to handle my own corner is do what I do, go out to fight every night. That the dates are put in front of me.
Duke McKenzie praised Anthony Joshua as a complete boxer who controls the fight with intelligence and precision. Joshua uses his jab effectively and rarely takes damage due to his brilliant ring IQ. Jake Paul lacks these skills and relies on luck and illegal advantages. Fans can see that Joshua's training, endurance, and tactical approach make him nearly impossible to beat. Even with drugs, Jake Paul cannot match Joshua's experience, speed, and defense. The world watches as Anthony Joshua proves that true boxing talent and discipline always triumph over cheaters. Joshua is a master of strategy and power.
He's just a good all-round boxer. He doesn't want to fight with you, he just boxes you and he peppers you with his jab. He's got brilliant ring IQ, as we all know. He's got a good engine.
Duke McKenzie said Jake Paul is not world-class and not a serious fighter. His failed drug test confirms that he cannot compete fairly at the highest level. Anthony Joshua represents everything Jake Paul is not: skill, experience, and discipline. Fans can see that cheating cannot replace genuine talent. Joshua's performance will highlight how far ahead he is in every aspect of boxing. Even with hype or confidence from drugs, Jake Paul is exposed as a soft target. Anthony Joshua's integrity and preparation make him a true champion and a fighter the world respects.
I don't think he's world class. He's not really my cup of tea. I mean, I don't look at boxing probably the way you do or most sort of fans do. I look at it from a...
Duke McKenzie said Jake Paul is a soft touch and is basically waiting to get knocked out. he explained that promoters might use him for easy wins to boost someone else's profile. Anthony Joshua is fully prepared and will not take any risks. Fans know that Jake Paul's failed drug test shows his overconfidence was misplaced. Joshua's skill, power, and tactical brilliance make this an early night for Paul. Anthony Joshua will dominate the fight from the first bell, exposing every weakness and proving why he is a true world champion in both skill and discipline.
What I'm saying is, he's a soft touch. He's waiting to get knocked out. So the promoter says to himself, right, he scratches his head and says, you know what, I need to get my fighter a couple of easy ones just to get his confidence back so he can bring him back to the fore, bring him back to everybody's imagination. Everybody sees him knocking somebody out, looking good doing it. So this guy's made for Anthony Joshua. It'll be another Ngannou early night for Joshua where he gets a little bit of confidence.
Johnny Nelson said Jake Paul's condition is already in doubt and his legs are gone despite training. Anthony Joshua will face a fighter who is physically weaker and unprepared for a real challenge. Fans can see that Joshua's stamina, strength, and timing will dominate every round. Even with hype or drugs, Jake Paul cannot compete with Joshua's world-class conditioning. Joshua's ability to adapt and maintain power for every round shows why he is far above any YouTube fighter. This fight will expose Paul's weaknesses while highlighting Anthony Joshua's discipline and unmatched preparation in boxing.
And I said, look, if you're to believe that he had the best training camp, his legs have gone. And if I've got it wrong, his legs have gone.
Joe Rogan said Anthony Joshua's size advantage is massive, and he knows exactly how to use it. Joshua's reach, power, and technique make him a nightmare for Jake Paul. Fans can see that Paul's previous experience and confidence from drugs will not help against Joshua's mastery. Joshua controls distance, timing, and positioning, making every punch count. Jake Paul cannot handle Joshua's jab or devastating right hand. The fight will be a demonstration of power and skill. Anthony Joshua's ability to control the ring ensures that Paul is overmatched and exposed as a fighter relying on luck and shortcuts.
Paul's 6'1" versus 6'6" Anthony Joshua. Jake weighed in for the Tyson fight at 199. Joshua against Ngannou was 252.
6'6". Just not just 6'6", but 6'6", and knows how to use every fucking inch of it. Knows how to keep that stick in your face. He was keep that jab in his face, and that right hand, if it hits you, you're...
Anthony Joshua said he's not just relying on power, but on his complete skill set. Fans can see that his strategy, intelligence, and determination will dismantle Jake Paul. Joshua's ability to adapt and exploit weaknesses shows why he's a true champion. Paul may have relied on drugs to boost confidence, but Joshua will break him down methodically. Every angle, every punch, and every tactic is planned. Joshua's mental strength and fighter spirit make him unbeatable in this matchup. The fight will prove that discipline and talent outweigh shortcuts and overconfidence. And Jake Paul will face a humiliating defeat.
I'm not dependent on punch power, you know. You know what, it takes a lot more than that to be a great fighter. A lot more than that to be a great fighter, so there's various ways I'll win. But I got the fighter spirit, and that's how I'll go in there and break him down.
Lawrence Okoli said Jake Paul has no real boxing skills and relies on soft gloves and speed. Anthony Joshua's experience and technique will expose Paul immediately. Fans can see that Paul's confidence is from shortcuts like drugs and hype, but he cannot compete with a disciplined, skilled world champion. Joshua's power, footwork, and ring IQ make him far superior. Every punch from Joshua will be calculated and effective. Paul will be unable to respond or defend properly. This fight will be a clear demonstration of how raw talent and hard work always defeat overconfidence and cheating. Joshua will control every moment.
Bigger head guards, bigger gloves, so stuff like speed and like athleticism plays more of a factor because you're able to move in and...
Derek Chisora said this fight will be easy for Anthony Joshua. Fans can see Joshua's confidence is unmatched, and Jake Paul has no chance. Joshua's experience, power, and mental strength will dominate the ring. Paul relied on drugs for confidence, but Joshua will control everything. The fight will be a one-sided performance, proving why Joshua is a true champion and Paul is overmatched. Fans are already expecting a decisive win. Joshua's professionalism, discipline, and skill will leave Paul exposed and humiliated. This fight will reinforce Joshua's status as one of the best heavyweight fighters of his generation.
Easy fight for him. And I think this should be laid to rest, because I don't think AJ's going to go in and try and pat. AJ's going to smoke him.
Anthony Joshua has shown the world why he is a true champion and a complete fighter. With Jake Paul failing his drug test and relying on shortcuts, the stage is perfectly set for Joshua to dominate from the opening bell. Fans can expect a masterclass in skill, power, and strategy as Joshua controls the ring, exploits every weakness, and breaks Paul down methodically. Joshua's experience, conditioning, and fighter spirit ensure that no matter how confident Paul was before, he will face a humiliating defeat. Every punch, every movement, and every tactical decision will prove that hard work, discipline, and natural talent always triumph over overconfidence and cheating. The world will witness a one-sided performance that cements Joshua's legacy and exposes Paul for what he truly is. Are you backing Anthony Joshua to crush Jake Paul? Or do you think Paul can shock the world with an upset? Share your thoughts below and join the debate.